couple of months ago, I made a video on the new Majora's Mask glitch, Remains Escape. This glitch allows runners to completely skip the long Giants cutscene at the end of the game's dungeons, and has been found to save 45 seconds alone, which is without including the route changes that this trick introduces, which has so far been shown to save over a minute in any percent no major glitches. This time save alone is massive for the no major glitches category, and several new world records have already been achieved using it. However, this method of Remains Escape is far from perfect, as performing it alongside a quick death warp, which is a form of death warping that skips part of Link's death animation sequence, is fairly precise, as failing it either results in being forced to watch the Giants cutscene or having your game crash. This has forced runners to resort to using metronomes or some more interesting alternatives.
Works.
Thankfully, last month, the glitch hunter Turkenheimer, who you may know for discovering Human in First Cycle, has discovered a new and much easier way to perform Remains Escape. Here's what it looks like. The setup would later be adapted to use a bomb, creating a much more consistent and less precise method of doing Remains Escape while also doing a quick death warp. This method is actually already implemented in NOP's current 1:14:11 world record. He's just the GOAT. I don't even know what to say, man, it's crazy. You may notice that this method of Remains Escape seems completely different to methods prior, but conceptually they're actually very similar. Here's how the old Remains Escape worked. By holding a held actor in Link's hand, in this case the hookshot, the game is forced to give Link the remains, despite being in the Song of Time cutscene, which typically would stop this from happening. Now typically, the game does not start the blue warp sequence until the remains actor detects you have closed its text box. However, during the Song of Time cutscene, the remains actor is unable to detect if its text box has been closed. Since it never detects that it's been closed, it's unable to start the blue warp sequence and is unable to send Link into the Giants cutscene. Thank you, me from the past, who sounds like someone just ran over his dog. The difference between this setup and the old setup has to do with the game's get item method. Get item can be blocked through two different ways. The first one is by being in a cutscene state, which is what the previous method of Remains Escape did through playing the Song of Double Time. Alternatively, it can be blocked by being in a grab state, which occurs when Link is attempting to pick up an actor, such as like bombs or a pot. By having the hookshot in Link's hand, the get item sequence is forced, and since there's no remains text box, the Giants cutscene cannot play. This same method of Remains Escape can be used on other actors of the game as well, which can produce some pretty interesting results. The same concept was actually already found in Ocarina of Time by Blinian's save state, which allowed them to pick up actors during get item as well. It has some other very important uses as well, like permanently deleting a heart piece. Currently, there's not much left to be desired out of the Remains Escape setup. However, some way to completely cut out the requirement of needing the hookshot, as it's a long detour to get it in the current no major glitches route, could have the potential to save even more time. As I mentioned earlier, top level no major glitches runs are already implementing this new Remains Escape strat, so I'd really recommend taking a look at the Majora's Mask directory on Twitch and watching some of these top level runs. The competition has really been heating up recently, and the runners absolutely deserve the attention, so I'd really recommend it. If this video interested you at all, I'd really recommend subscribing. I'm working on a long-form video on a pretty interesting Majora's Mask topic that's going to be coming out sometime in the near future, and I promise you're not going to want to miss it, okay? But yeah, that's all for now, so see you then, hopefully.